Welcome back, family. Good evening. Today is Monday, the 23rd of March, and we are here at Timohana to take a look at the cover price top 20, not just the top 10, but the top 10 plus the honorable mention top 10, second 10 for the week. Like I said, on March 23rd. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit out of it. Sorry. It's been a little bit of a crazy day. Um, Yeah, let's check in here. We got 25 Perez already checked in. How's it going, sir? And Robert Monroe Jr. Good evening, Rich, and the fellow coconuts. Well, he says the coconuts, usually says fellow coconuts. So yeah, I'm gonna do the best I can here. I had some issues trying to even just log on to CovrPrice today. It was just being a little bit of a pain in the neck. I'd log in and it would kick me back out and log back in again. Hi to everybody who's here tonight and from Virginia. And Stinger Buns is already checking in as well, sir. Hi. Discombobulated Rich. Yeah, sorry. My wife, we had a passing this morning, so I'm trying to keep my head about me. He's not unexpected. We knew, but we just didn't want. So I'm going to try to do the best I can here. I appreciate all you guys. I know you're please by all means crack jokes, make fun of it because it's still it's comics, it's funny, and if I can't take a joke, then I need to get out of this. Anyway, let's just jump right into the list, shall we, everybody? We've got the Absolute Batman issue number 1 still hanging around. It's at the number 20 spot on this list. Let's scroll down and take a look at the pages. Current trend is down an entire percent. Oh no. Remember, there are tons of copies on this thing. 9.9 sold December 21st for 500. Wow, the 9.8's 87, FMV of 83. So the only way you could have gotten to 83, because 87 would have pulled it up a little bit. So that means it was probably more like 81, 82. So we're now coming down in price, similar to like Spider Boy did. And I think we're getting close to where it's going to settle at. A week earlier, a 9.6 sold for 90. Ouch. No, I think it's going to wind up finishing somewhere around the 70 to $75 mark, maybe even 80. But I just got one back. Yay. Near Mint's most recent sale here. We can discount Near Mint Plus officially because it was back in February. But Near Mint's Raws are selling for 27. And again, that's still, it's down a little bit, but still maintaining some good value on that. I'm wondering if it's because you can't find Raws because everybody sent them in for grading. I wouldn't recommend reading a copy and taking a chance to domestic up the spine. There's so many different first print, second print, third print, 19th print. No, that would be Transformers. But I think it's still slowing down a little bit. And I think we're just about to the point where we're going to see this fall off the list, which will then allow it to leave everybody's minds and settle down to its eventual final price. So it's almost at the point where you can start really hunting for it. You could probably start now and start negotiating prices because the dealers know that that's going to go down a little bit more. Number 19, we've got Spawn issue number 1, a perennial favorite here. Ooh, that's pretty. That autograph, I wish, right? So let's see. Oh, 9.8's at last sale at 130. Remember that was hitting like 145, 150. And I said it's cyclical. It goes up and down and everything else. And don't buy it at the 150. Wait till it comes down to the 125, 130 mark. Well, there it is. So now you got that as your ammunition when you go to your LCS or a show and say, hey, how much for this one? Number 1, 9.8. Oh, 155. Why? It's selling now for 130. Check recent sales. You know, you don't have to pay an eBay commission. I'll give you 120. Come on. It's something to negotiate with. Hector Ortiz saying, hello, everybody. How are you, sir? Near Mint Raw is going for 25. That's a pretty recent price as well. Near Mint Plus going for 56. Well, there's a lot of 9.8s. Remember, this is a very highly printed book. It's not a foil either. So This is probably a decent time to start looking for the book because, like I said, it goes up and down. Right now, it's in the down, so it should wind up going up again once somebody accidentally, like sneezes, movie, boom. I think I just jumped it up 5% by saying that. Omega Man number 3, first appearance of Lobo. Uh, this one's probably going to take a little bit of a tick. Let's see. No, 306. Now remember, this was going for like 400. It's down now to 306, FMV at 301, which is closer to where it was before the announcement. However, there's supposedly some Momoa's leaking some, I guess, concept art of what he would look like as Lobo in some interview. So I expect this to get a little bump up again. If it weren't for that stupid little leak, this would actually be, you'd be looking at trying to get this around 280 right now. But as a result, I think this is going to jump this back up to like 330, 340. This would be like a Larry special, honestly, because he's really good at quickly picking something up and then flipping it a couple days later, So I think with that leaked information, I don't think you're going to find it at 306 anymore. I think that's going to jump up to like 330 for a week. Near Mint Raw is going, wow, 75 for Near Mint Raw. FMV of 107. That makes me wonder if it really was near mint or if pictures defined it as otherwise. So, this one is all based on how much information is leaked. So, take everything with a grain of salt. Shot very, very carefully on this. Just remember that as soon as we actually get an end credit scene from the Superman movie or a leaked production video, photos, or actual trailer for the Supergirl movie, which comes out next year, which will have Lobo in it, this book is going to jump. So if you want to get into your collection, this is probably the best chance you're going to have over the next year. If you miss that opportunity, I would wait until after the movie comes out and then leaves the theater, because then that will be it's where it starts to go back down again before it hits streaming. Okay, next up, we have, this book. I still like this cover. The Punisher issue number 13. And again, this is not a key book in any way, shape, or form. It's just up here because the cover is really cool. New York City says no to the Punisher. You've got Mayor Fisk here. And, everything is related to the Daredevil series. I'm not going to get into any spoilers or talk about it, but this is one of the books that is, of course, gaining some notoriety. That plus, I believe D'Onofrio has been hitting a few different conventions signing, and this would be a great book to sign. I mean, honestly, I really think so. So you see no slab sales. This book came out in 2019, and there are no slabs sales in history. So 6 years, nobody sold a slab copy of this, which means it's not worth anything. Current trend down 28%, and the Near Mint Raws are selling for $4. So, yeah, for $4, go. You want to have that cover? Go for it. It's not going to hurt anything. It's probably less than it was for CovrPrice. Can I see the cover price on this? Now it's $3.99. So, in 6 years, it's gone up a penny. There's an investment for you. Again, it's a CovrPrice book. It's a cool looking cover. If you'd like to add it to your collection, no harm, no foul. I mean, even if it drops down, what's it going to go to? $3? You're going to lose $1. Captain Canuck, number 1 from Cumley Comics of 1975. First appearance of Captain Canuck. There's got to be some kind of option news on this. I have no idea why this is even up here. I should call Chris, the comic vet, and ask him. Yeah, because this is not a Marvel or DC character. Maybe they're making a movie or a TV show or something. I do vaguely remember this character. I don't believe I ever read it, but let me see. 9.8's $250 is the most recent sale on 3/17, which is a week ago. FMV of 216, which would have been brought up by the 250, so it's probably under 200 FMV before that. 9.0 sold for 115 on the 20th. So people are looking even for lower grades and paying above FMV or whatever. Because I see that $89 back in January, which meant nothing. We got near mints going up in price, selling for 30. There's got to be some kind of option news there. And okay, so maybe they make a cute little TV show or a cute little movie. Even if they do, we're still at least a year away on this or two. It was used in a meme about Trump wanting to make Canada the 51st. Wow, that's even worse. Okay. Wow. All right. I'm not going to touch that one. Because I've just refused to get into the political jargon of what's going on. But from an investability standpoint, it's a meme. How many millions of memes have there been that we adored and then forgot about? And you probably wouldn't even remember them if I showed them to you in a slideshow. This will wind up being the same thing. So unless you could get Trump to sign it, I doubt it would be really a good thing to invest in. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 77. This is a retailer incentive 1 out of 10 from the Natalie with an H. Interesting. Natalie Fordrain. Oh, well, she's a French name, so she's going to have a French variation of Natalie. Cool. It's down 12%. It's a 1 in 10, and it's selling for 12. Okay, well, again, thanks to JP's Budget Collecting, who has had a long history of doing this type of a show with the CBSI list and the Comic Tom list, which, by the way, that airs at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, or is it 9:30? But anyway, JP's Budget Collecting, make sure you check him out. I have to give him full props. All I'm doing is just his idea, but for a different list. If it doesn't hit 3 times ratio, so for a 1 in 10, it would have to be 30, then they don't hold value. And they back down to ratio. Well, it's already at ratio. It's a 1 in 10 selling for 12. So it's a cool looking cover. I've never even played Sonic one time. So I never watched the movies, never read the books. I'm just not a Sonic person, but I know there are a lot of people out there that are diehard. But I still think it's going to wind up falling back to like 8. So, sorry. So, a comment there. I just wanted to finish that up. I think that's to do with the relations between the U.S. and Canada at the time. Yeah. But that's. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this real quick. I just hate that all the political stuff is spilling into the comic world. This is my safe space. I don't want political stuff in my safe space. I mean, and I did pick up like Biden's Titans and Trump Titans because I thought they were funny, but it's lost its humor now. It's getting to the point where people are starting to hate each other for it. And yeah, so going forward, if I see any other books that I didn't know when I clicked on it, okay, but going forward, if I see any other books that are politically motivated one way or the other on this list, I'm just going to pass them by. I'll click on it and say no comments, but this is on the list. So, and thank you guys so much for letting me know why it was on the list, because I showed you I didn't have a clue. All right. So this is going to drop down to 8. Next on the list, the DC the DC Versus, DC crossover with Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 1. This is a Virgin variant, 1 in 25. I'm pretty sure this is a wraparound. No, it's not a wraparound. That's some cool art, though. I really like Batman's wings back there. That looks good. I don't like Superman's face. This person is more used to drawing Sonic than he is the DC character, so. Because the proportions are more in line with a Sonic character than they are with a human anatomy. Anyway, the 1 in 25 from last week. Highest known sale from December 27th. Somebody pre-ordered it for $62. Now the most recent sale, which was yesterday, yesterday, $16. So it's not even hitting ratio now. It's almost half of a ratio. Yeah. Well, it's definitely not going to go up from 16. Can it go down much more for a Virgin 1 in 25? It's still a great book to get signed, not just by Pablo Collar, but if you got any of the people that, like, let's just say you had some, the person that did the voice for Sonic the Hedgehog in the cartoon, or anybody. There's a lot of characters there and a lot of good signing room. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but Greg, when he did the channel, he would go to shows and he would get the best books to get signed. And he would see who's signing. It could be somebody that's known for this particular voice, and the person gets 1,000 people signing, and 999 are having him sign that particular character. And here comes Greg with a Toucan Sam book, and it would brighten up his face, like, oh my God, yeah, that's right, I did I did do Toucan Sam. It creates a memory. You've got a book that, yeah, you've got a signature, but you got it in a way that nobody else has it. So let's just say you did want to get the voice actor for Sonic the Hedgehog, and you had that book. That would look really, really cool. So, and it's a 1 in 25, and you're probably going to be able to pick it up for $10. So can't go wrong with that, right? All right, next up, we've got Berserker #1. This is a Raphael Grandpa regular. I think this is a cover A, but it says, did he do the cover A? I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. As you can see, I've got a few different copies, and there are a lot of copies of Berserker. Jeez, this is all #1. Ridiculous. What do we got here? $100 for a 9.8 and near mint selling for $9. Well, I mean, when this came out, we all knew that part of the allure of it was going to be made into something with Keanu Reeves. And if that's now coming to fruition, it still does not decrease the amount of copies that were printed. The cover A itself for $9. Honestly, I would have been happy if I got 2 copies of this. I would have been happy if I had this at a show and I sold it for cover price. So I think that $9 is a bit high for it. Just me. Next up, we have the Absolute Wonder Woman. Such a great thing seeing her back on this list, even though I see that current trend going down. Oh, no. So we got the 9.8 selling for $59, but the FMV of $50. That means it was selling for below $50 for a 9.8. But the near mint raw is going for $15. I'm sorry, if I'm looking for a quality of a book, I am not spending $15 on a near mint raw when I can, based on what I see here, negotiate a 9.8 for like $45. I'm not going to take a chance that you're misgrading when the best case scenario, I buy the book for $15, I send it in for $30, shipping, handling, and grading fee, and I get a 9.8. It breaks even. And I'm taking a chance I don't get a 9.6 or damaged in shipping. Yeah. I would, yeah. I'm going to see the sales data on 9.8s. It's got to be definitely under 50 recently. 43, 37. Wow. 65, 51, 43, 31, $26 on March 12th. Yes, the prices are all over the place on this. I'm sure that dealers probably sent in a lot of copies with what do you call it, pre-screens, and expecting this to take off, and it didn't. And right now they will just be happy to clear the space in their store. And at least even if it means losing a couple dollars, space is a commodity itself. So don't spend $59 on this book. I just saw that within the last month, it has sold for as little as $26 for 9.8. I mean, that could be a CBCS. most likely not a PGX. um, but yeah, if you want to get a copy in the 9.8 and you're looking to getting a nice looking book for unfortunately very overprinted, um, I would say try to get it for somewhere around 35. Maybe the maximum is 40. That's in person. Don't pay more than 40 if you have to buy it off online and pay for shipping. The reason is that when Absolute Batman came out, everybody freaked out how fast it was, how much it was going up in price. And as a result, they pre-ordered a lot of the Wonder Woman, hoping for the same thing. But now you've created an overpopulation of the book itself. It's a good story. It's a good story. It's not, it's not as good as the Absolute Batman, but it's not as bad as Absolute Flash. All right, so let me see. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. This is number 11. We're at the halfway point. This is the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issue number 1. This is the homage to, that was cover A, though, wasn't it? No, that was cover A. Okay. Yes, this is the homage to Amazing Fantasy 15. I'm so glad they did this because nobody has ever homaged that book before. Sarcasm. Gotta love it. See, 9.8 was the last sale for 137, slightly down in price here. We were at 154, but it looks like it's going. It was on March 2nd, 154. That was probably when issue number 1, the cover A, hit the list, and as a result, this one hit the list as well. Near Mint selling for 13, Near Mint Plus for 14, all within the last couple of days. Yeah, if you can get a certifiable 9.8 and it's a very recent book, you should be able to. For $13, $14, there's no reason to go out and spend $137 to $150 or whatever on a 9.8. Go for Raw on this one for sure. If you haven't seen the series yet, I highly recommend it. I watched it because I'm like, I have to watch it just so I know what's going on. And I'm like, wow, I actually enjoy this. So they released it almost bingeable. It's like they released 3 episodes, and next week 2 episodes, and 3, then 2, and then they were done. So they did like an accelerated release, not a full season dump, but in blocks. It was okay the way they did that, but I like the series a lot. But I still think this is going to come down on the it's got to come down on the slab side, but it's not going to fall too much on the raw side. Maybe 9, 10 for a raw. That's about it. I'm sure other people pre-ordered this. That there's a good quantity out there in the world. It's not a ratio variant in any way. All right, we're going to take a quick moment to say thank you to all the Patreon members and the YouTube members for helping to support the channel. YouTube members get advanced access to the recorded videos, which they're watching one right now that if you're not a member, you're not seeing it till tomorrow. And Patreon members, we have our get together once a month where we all just chew the fat, shoot the shit, whatever you want to say. We all just watch to see how quickly it gets dark in Tampa. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. And the books that we give away some books also. And once every 3 months, I mail those books out. They're all packaged. Just didn't get to the post office today. Sticker Buns, thank you for confirming that address for me. That really helped. And yeah, that's about it. So I just want to say thank you to those people. Stick around. We are going to be right back with the top 10 itself. All right, let's get right into the top 10. And we're starting off with a book from 2004. We're going to Daredevil, issue number 58. This is the first appearance of Angela Del Toro, the fourth White Tiger, not in costume, and modern appearance of the night nurse, Linda Carter. not to be confused with Wonder Woman, of course. Um, yeah, it's the reason of this book going up is more for the first half of that sentence, not for the second. For sake of people that have not watched the show yet, sticker buttons, and are waiting until it ends so they can binge it. I am not going to get into any plot details of anything. If you've watched even just the trailer that was a few months ago, you know that White Tiger is a character, and there's been many iterations of him in the comics. So this is in relation to it. I don't know if we're going to have White Tiger in the MCU in the ground level war, similar to um, like a modern version of Defenders. I mean, I rewatched the Defenders on Netflix not that long ago, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered it being. Iron Fist still was, so I did not like Iron Fist, the series. I did not like Iron Fist in the Defenders. Everybody else was okay. But there's been so much talk, so much speculation about like a Midnight Suns, but we don't know who the characters are going to be. Is it going to be Moon Knight? Is it going to be? It won't be She-Hulk. Is it going to be White Tiger? Is it going to be Daredevil? Is it going to be Ghost Rider? Is it going to, is Spider-Man as a ground level person? Is he going to be not necessarily in it, but like you'll see him from time to time? We don't know. But I like the idea of having a ground level fight. I don't need everything to be on a galactic scale. Because I can't relate to that, but I can relate to seeing a mugging because I was in New York City. I saw that. So that being said, I don't. Let's see what the prices are on this. You got a 9.8 most recent sale. It was 2 years ago for 160, and that was during higher prices time. We've got Near Mint Raws selling for 18 a couple of days ago. Very Fine selling for 10. That's actually a little bit down from FMV. Near Mint is a little bit up from FMV, but it's no real big difference there. The book is, like I said, from 2004, so you should still be able to find decent copies. I don't know if there's a newsstand. There is a newsstand variant of it. So right now, if this came out as a 9.8, you're probably going to be looking at paying $250, but it's probably in the long run, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth more than say 70. So if you see that 9.8, don't go and grab it real quick. Linda Carter should appear as a variant Night Nurse in the MCU. Yes, I agree. But I would still I'd love to see a cameo. What was I can't think of the actress's name either. The one that played Ahsoka was Rosario Dawson, and she played Night Nurse in Daredevil. She was in The Defenders. She was in Luke Cage. She was in Iron Fist. She was everywhere. I would love to see her have a cameo in the Daredevil show. So here's hoping that they spent a little extra money to get Rosario Dawson back, which, by the way, I think she really enjoyed doing it, so she probably would do it again, and not charge you one of those, oh, all right, fine, I don't want to be there, so you got to give me like 10 million. Anyway, so right now is definitely not the time to buy this book. It hasn't been on anybody's radar. It is now, and it's going to quickly drop back off again. Number 9, we have White Tiger issue number 1, the first appearance of Angela Del Toro as White Tiger. That is a killer cover, though. Yeah, the other ones, the book before was the first appearance of her. This is the first appearance of her as White Tiger, which took 3 years, 2007. The other was 2004. January, so 2 years and change. We have 9.8s. Wow, 275. Highest price was 2022 at 325. FMB at 237. So before this show, this was probably selling for more like 190, and I think it's going to return back to that price. Near Mint's selling for 35 recently. FMV of 33. So it's not really affecting the raws, it's affecting the graded copies. So this is your time to go hunting for those Near Mint raws. You get those good clean glasses on and inspect them, make sure they look great. Yes, she is. Absolutely. No, look, I'm going to be honest here. I love Rosario Dawson. I don't like her as Ahsoka. Okay, I just don't think that she worked well as the character. That being said, I love her in every other thing she ever did, even right down to Men in Black. I don't care. Just that one didn't work for me. Okay, I like Chris Evans. I didn't like him as Johnny Storm. I love every other thing he's ever done. But yeah, she's a great big fangirl, and she was great in this series too. Hardcore. Yeah, I would put that bat to Russian's head. Oh, okay. Getting off base here. This is got me all for shimmeled here. Hold off on buying this book if you can. It's got a spike because of recent events, and that just screams to get signed though. Ooh, yeah, I would definitely be looking for raw copies on this, maybe more than one. And I don't think, yeah, there's no known variants. So it's just a cover A is the only thing you got to worry about. Psylocke issue number 5, the Virgin 1 in 50, the Ben Harvey that came out last week. It's okay. I mean, I've definitely seen better. So it's a 1 in 50, and it's selling for 57. It's again barely over ratio. How many stores have bought 50 copies of Psylocke number 5? I don't think that many. So I'm sure that there are a lot of stores out there that bought 50 copies to get their hands on this, and they're feeling really ticked off that they can only sell it for $50, and then they're going to be stuck with all the raws. Well, there was a Marvel Rivals, so they could have loaded up on the Rivals and a Momoko. So there's enough other covers here that they could have done, say, 10, 10, well, say 15, 5, 5. It's 25. Maybe 15 of the Psylocks and 10 of the Momokos. That gets them 50. That gets one of these. Again, but and now that puts them in the store's hands. But then, how many people are actually looking for it? It's on the hot list. That's going to get some interest, but it's barely at ratio. I think it's going to fall back in the long run down to like 25, $30. And other than that, no, sorry. Invincible number 51. Hey, remember we had how many Invincible books we had on last week's list? Well, I'm looking up and I see this is the first of 4 in a row, so they're still up here. This is a Jim Lee cover. This was it says first issue, but it's actually the 51st issue because you have to see that little word 50 there. This was on the list last week, and let's see what we got here. 9.8 sold in 2024 for $250, currently selling for $220, which is a little bit up from FMV. 9.6s for $148. The near mints have actually dropped down a little bit. 58 was the FMV, now going for 50. So it's on the it's taking its little step back. The FOMOers have bought everything out, and now the prudent buyers are starting to step in and get things. But us, those are the prudent ones. We have to be the frugal ones. We're going to be the smart ones. They're going to wait a little bit longer for this book to drop a little further. Next up on the list, this is the wraparound Ryan Otley issue number 60. I'm going to pull it up so this way you can see the entire thing, because that is a very, very in-depth cover there. And if you're familiar with all the characters on there, then kudos to you. I couldn't name any of them. I have got to watch this series at some point, but all right, I see current trend down 13%. Yeah, 9.8 was 331. Now it's at 345. Well, that was still 317. That's a week ago. Only recent sales here. The most recent sale is the near mint itself. FMV 124 down to 90. So it's already down a little over 25%, about 27% since last week. The very fine has gone up a couple of bucks on the 21st, but those are the only real recent sales here that I see, because these other ones are about a week ago. So I think this is also starting to take its little step back, and I would wait a little bit longer. Invincible issue number 71. I don't remember seeing this cover last week. I know it was all about the Vitramite War, but I don't remember seeing this particular cover. All the shading on her face, shadows and the light. That's I like that. Nice. I have always loved the art in it. I just never read the stories. All right. So the highest on value was 175 for 9.8 2 days ago. That is also the most recent sale. Near mint selling for 17 on the same day. I'm sorry, I'll go for a $17 near mint and try to hope it or press it and clean it to a 9.8 before I spend 175. Somebody let me know in the comments, do they offer this in a trade paperback or do I got to go online and fight pop-up ads? I mean, it might be just like Saga that once I start reading, I get hooked. But I think that 17 is not a terrible price for this book. It came out in 2010, and it kind of reminds me of like Something is Killing the Children, where it's not just number one, it's all the issues that were of lower prints that don't meet the demand of the people that are trying to buy it now. Or even you go back to like when I first started collecting comics, X-Men. Yeah, 94 through 101, of course, they're all high, but every single book up to about 160, 165 commanded a premium price because they were just getting more and more and more readers and trying to go back and get those back issues. There were not enough copies to supply to everybody. We also didn't have, I was going to say, we couldn't read on the internet. We didn't even have an internet back then. Dan Quayle hadn't helped us out yet. But yeah, $17 is not a terrible price to pay for that, in my opinion, for a 9.8, for a near mint. So maybe you find somebody that has some of the Invincible books. Look for any of the ones that are, from the 10 years ago, and try to find those like nice near mint books. Just because it's not on the hot list, if you get issue number 72, if you find issue number 47 or whatever, any of the older books, if they're in near mint condition or you have a chance of getting a 9.8, it might be a good idea to start looking at picking up those books at shows, because they're all going to be in demand as more and more people familiarize themselves with the storyline from the show and start reading it and start digging to try to find those back issues. But all right, next up we have Invincible Returns, issue number 1. Now, this is the one that also came out in 2010, but remember, people always gravitate towards buying those number ones. So they would have printed more of these than they would have printed of issue number 71 of the regular series. This is the first appearance of Thrag, and I see the little arrows going down. In 9.8 sold in 2021 for $632. Right now, it's selling for $200. That's also a week ago. Most recent sale here, near mint for $62. And that's 3 days ago. And near mint plus for $106. $200 does not seem like that bad a price if a near mint is selling for $62. Remember, we were looking at a different book earlier on that was $160 for a 9.8, but only, was it $17 or $20 or whatever for a near mint raw? This is like 1/3 the price instead of 1/10. Very Fines also sold the same day for $96. I don't understand that. So yeah, I think this will be the first one, in my opinion, to take the step back when the hype from Invincible starts to die down a little bit. The prices on this were definitely much less. And back in 2010, of course, yeah, everybody's saying, "Oh, yeah, you got to read Invincible. You got to read Invincible." They're at issue number 68. I'd have to read all 68 of them, whatever. Oh, look, a new storyline, issue number 1. All right, let me go buy that, and that way I can catch up on a new storyline and get introduced to the characters. So again, new number ones always, they print more and they sell more. So I think this one is good. Like I said, it's going to be the first one to take the step back. Number 3 on the list, we have Batman Superman World's Finest from last week, the 1 in 25. Okay, he's flying, he's falling, I guess. Or yeah, he's diving off a building, he's taking off. Or is Batman caught in his jet wash? I don't know what's going on with that picture. 38% increase in price. Look at that. All right. So Batman Superman World's Finest. It's an interesting, yeah, I think I didn't even bother buying the book. So what do we got? We have a $45 sale yesterday for a near mint, no slab sales. Highest known was March 22nd, the day before, for 60. So again, nobody's pre-selling. It's a 1 in 25, so it's a little over 2 times as ratio here, but the last sale was under 2 times, which, what do we say? It's going to wind up coming back down. It's it's an interesting cover. I assume you're talking about this one and not the Invincible. It's a very interesting cover. You know what I like the most though is the duality between the definition of the buildings being slightly grayscale, out of focus, but still enough that you could tell individual buildings and windows and stuff. But you've got the light of Superman on his side, the darkness of Batman on his side, one going up, one going down. Now I'm starting to think of the Paula Abdul song. Opposites attract, which it looks like they do in this issue. So, it's less than double ratio, so it'll probably back down to the 25. I think this one will hold a little bit more than regular ratio, just because of the characters that are on it. And it doesn't look like anything else that I've seen, so it's easily identified and not thought to be like mistaken for another cover. It's got good regions for signings. I think it's going to finish up around 35. So it's going to come down a little bit, not too much more, but I think that's right now it's going to go up low because it's on the hot list and the people that didn't know about it are now hunting for it. But in the long run, I think it's going to finish up around 35. The Last Boy, Adam Hughes, another virgin, 1 in 25. This is from Boom Studios. And it's from last week. Let's get a look at this here. Kind of has that Tinkerbell look, but it's the fireflies, and she's whispering in his ear, and you're getting the bugs in his ear. I'm sure that he loves that. Good cover though. Good color choices. I like it. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at the colors right. This is up slightly again. This is a 1 in 25. Whoa, we got people buying people buying this for 120 yesterday. 140 was the highest price 2 days ago. So this is selling now for almost 5 times of ratio, which means it should maintain value. But the question is how good. Yeah, this absolutely is a Peter Pan type story. Yeah, you've got Hook, and even Hook looks like Dustin Hoffman here. Panozzi did it. Okay, it's cool. I didn't even see this book on the pull list. It's interesting. If the story is good, then it's going to work. But that's the key here: is does the story work? There have been other stories, other books that have been interesting takes on this kind of stuff, like Never Never, which came out a couple of years ago. The fairies whispering the cover will make the top 10, Peter. Yeah, not kidding. Just call it a hunch, but I got 2 good reasons why it will. Yikes. Anyway, it's an Adam Hughes, and Hughes does great work too. If the story is good, this has a potential. I'm very scared to say no on this because it's already hit 5 times value, and I didn't even see the cover A on the to pick up. So the cover A itself is selling for cover price $5. So again, if I didn't see this in the store, I didn't order it. If other people followed suit, then there's not going to be that many 1 in 25s out there. I'm hesitant to say no on this. part of me is saying that this is not going to hold value. Another part of me is saying it meets all the criteria. It should. So, I'm going to go with my gut, though, that this does not hold value. I have no logical, quantifiable reasons to say this other than I just don't feel it. Okay. So if you feel it and you want to buy a copy and prove me wrong, uh, I'll put you on the air with pictures going, ha ha ha, you suck. It's fine. And, call me out on it. It's fine. This is every one of these books that I put up here, I give it is my opinion. So, but this is not going to come down to ratio, not $25. Even if the series itself is not good and it falters, the worst this can do is come down to like 60. Again, this is another book that I have not seen this kind of cover. Is there a non-virgin variant available? No. So if you like this cover, it's not like you could buy cover D in with a trade dress. It's got some good covers though. I'm really regretting not getting this. I still think it's going to come down to between 60 in the long run. A year from now, you're going to see this book for $60. I don't think this is going to take off. Just like I said, a gut feeling. But I'm not going to pick this as my bust because I can't prove it. I'm going to avoid this one as my bust. I'm also not picking it as my boom. It's a cool book. I wouldn't mind owning it, but I'm not paying $125. That's what makes me think that other people would have the same idea. And coming in the number one spot, we have the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is issue number 1, second print, the homage to the Amazing Fantasy number 15, which is the 1 in 25 variant. Wow. All right, so what do we got this selling for? $250. Nearman selling for $150. Nearman Plus selling for $250. It's a 1 in 25. For the second print. See, this is what happens though, is stores get burned on so many of these ratio variants. And they have to buy so many books to get all these ratio variants that their overall inventory is overflowing. They got storage facilities to try to store all these tens of thousands of books that nobody is buying that they bought just so they can get the ratio variants. And now they're trying to be more selective about the ones they buy. And then you're going to wind up with books like this that shoot up in value. And now stores are going to start buying more again. And it's just a vicious cycle again. Wow. So honestly, I did not look at this list ahead of time. I'm going to say that the only reason that the original first print homage to Amazing Fantasy 15 was even on the list is because this copy is shooting up so much. How many do I think stores bought more than 25 copies of the second printing of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man to get a cover that had already been out with the first printing? I can understand why stores didn't buy it. What I can't understand is why everybody says it's just because it's rare, it's automatically worth $250. So yeah, I don't see, especially now that the show is over. No, I don't see this one at all. I see this one being a massive, massive bust. This is my bust pick. I'm making this one right here my bust pick. So I think, what do I think this is going to be in a year? In 1 year, this book that just sold for $250 in a Nearmint Plus, for $150 in a Nearmint regular, will be selling for the same price for both grades, and it will be $45. Maybe you'll get 50 for a Nearmint Plus, but I think that's going to drop that much. For $150, It definitely looks like a bust. Yeah. Especially since, like I said, the big difference with um The Last Boy was if you want that cover, you have to buy that book. If it's just because you love the cover art. On this one, if you really love the cover, you can buy the uh first printing, just a regular homage for 12 bucks. It's the same cover. I think they got like a dark cloud. It's grayer above the top. I think that's what the difference is. Let's see if I can look at it real quick. Which issue was it? There we go, number 11. Okay, so that's one. Yeah, it's the only difference is you see whether it's webbing or cloud, it's like whiter here, and that's grayer. It's a grayer scale. I think it's got wait. Yeah, it's also. I'm sorry, it's missing the text, the writing. That's a bigger clue. Uh, yeah, it's got introducing Spider-Man. The text here. There's definitely discernible differences, but if it's just the homage itself, then I would just go for the first print. If you just like the art, I wouldn't buy this just for investability. Sorry. All right, so I've given you my bust pick, and I've already gotten the second. The motion is submitted for vote because Hector's submitted it. Has seconded it there. What do I think is going to be my boom pick? The one that I think has the best chance to give a return on investment. Do. Based on today's prices. Okay, I got you. I got you. It's because it's come back down and it always goes up and down. And today's the down, and I would buy that Spawn 9.8 now. I may even look because I have one. I might be looking for a second copy because if it's down to 130, it might be hitting for 125. And we all know that somebody starts a rumor, it jumps back up to 155. So this is probably a good time to go looking for that Spawn number one. And the Near Mint Raw is going for 25. Near Mint Plus for 56. Nah. I wouldn't pay 56 if I could probably get a 9.8 for like 125. So that would be my pick. It's cool that I like when I get the opportunity to pick a known book that's always on the list because it just happens to be in a little bit of a lull. Both of our picks are in sync. Awesome. Because we here, man, right? We're right here. We're right here. All right. So that is the entire cover price list. It's not a bad list. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen worse lists in this. I still think it's got too many Invincible books on it, but it's got a decent selection. Independence, Marvel, DC. Yeah, I'm not. This is not a bad list. I think also based on what I've seen, because not only does JP's Budget Collecting do the list, but they also have a look back that they do on Saturdays, and it's a recorded show. It's not a live show with that, but he looks back at his predictions from 6 months ago and say, "Look, I thought it was going to be this. This was what it was selling for. This is what it is selling for now. It's actually gone up. I said it was going to go down, or what." It shows you overall how many books have gone up, how many books have stayed the same, and how many books have gone down. And for the last 9 months, year, it's like every week one's up, six are down, 14. I mean, yeah, one's up, six are steady, 14 are down, or some ridiculous skewing the market down. The last couple of weeks have been more like 3 up and 10 even and 5 down. It's almost like, have we finally hit the bottom and we're starting to make that curve and maybe the market can start to correct itself a little bit? I don't know if it ever really will with the modern books because supply chain issues, bad storylines, increased prices, ridiculous amounts of ratio variance. It's making it harder and harder to draw new fans in. But those classic books, Can't say no to him, man. I just can't. All right, guys. So I am going to wrap this up. I want to say thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, tomorrow you guys are going to see a mail call. They got a mail call video is going to drop. And if you're a YouTube member and you saw it already, you know what I'm talking about. And then Wednesday, we've got new comic book day where every single week we give away books. And it's nice and simple. All you got to do is just make sure you watch last week's video, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Keep it clean, keep it comics, because I use a random comment picker. I'm going to pull it in and I'm going to pick a winner and give them to you guys. It's not only new comics that are given away. We pull books from the something old, something new box. So some of the old books will get mixed in with it. So you have a something to compare it to. You read a new story, read an old story, get to add some Bronze Age, Copper Age, Silver Age books to your collection. Why not? And we just have some fun. Looking forward to seeing you there. Like I always say though, please like, subscribe, click on the notifications, and please drop those comments. I love to hear from you guys. I love reading them. Know that you're enjoying the show. What would you like to see different? What would you like to see in addition? Those things do matter. But other than that, though, I'm going to wrap this up, which I already said several times. Till I see you in the next video. Mahalo.